Hi and welcome back. My name is Cynthia Wakio, and today we're going to be looking at you've been applying for jobs, many jobs, and you get no response. What is it that you could be possibly doing wrong? And we're going to be discussing this with Paminas Wenaina, our lead recruiter here at Corporate Staffing. And Paminas, I hope you're excited to tell us where.
Yes, very excited. I've just had lunch.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not going to sleep, but yeah, at least I have the energy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, in your very many years of experience in the recruitment industry, why do you think candidates apply for jobs and get no response?
There are many reasons, Cynthia, but I would group them into three. So the first one and the most major one is, are you targeting the right jobs? And my advice to any professional watching this is only apply to jobs where you meet 70 to 80% of the requirements. I know people are desperate for jobs. I know a job means a lot. I mean, it's source of a self-esteem, it's a source of livelihood. But there's no need for you to keep applying for jobs, and no one is going to call you because either you're not a good fit, you don't qualify, you know, all those things. So look at a job description. Look at, do you meet 70 to 80% of the requirement? And be candid with yourself, because you know your skills. Yeah, you know your experience, you know your training. Yeah, and only apply if you're able to meet those requirements. I know there's no perfect candidate, so there's a high likelihood you may not meet all the 100%. The instances where you'll meet, so if you meet, bravo, go ahead and apply. But at a minimum, 70 to 80% of the requirement. And like I've said, the way to go about it is print your CV, then look at the job description, and be able to compare and see is there a match. And only when there's a match should you be able to proceed to the next step of applying for the job. Yeah. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is your CV. Now, if someone is a regular visitor to our channel, they know I always say the work of the CV is really not to get you a job. CV is part of the process of you getting a job, but what it does, it's one step in many steps. So for me, a CV is to open doors for you, at least to get to an interview. So focus on your CV. And my advice to any professional is, have you tailored your CV to suit the job? Why? Because there's stiff competition out there. I know you may be in your room, bedroom, or in the office watching this and saying, oh, I've seen a job, and this is how candidates, you know, this is how candidates think. I've seen a job and I meet 90% of the requirements. And Pamina said we compare with our CV. Yes, but don't forget, it's a competition out there. You're not the only qualified person. You're not the only person with this level of experience. So sit down, customize your CV such that us as recruiters or employers, when we take less than 1 minute to glance at your CV, we'll be able to see, oh, Cynthia has the bare minimum for this job and she qualifies. And now I'll move you from the pool of applicants to the pool of the people I want to interview. So I always see professionals make these mistakes, whether it's at entry level or very high level, where someone only has one CV. And this I would attribute it to being lazy. Yeah? I'll be honest. Yeah. So it will just take you, it's advisable. You can have one general CV, but then for every job you are to apply, sit down and tweak your CV to suit that position. Because I can tell you, the recruiters, the employers of this world, they're not going to take 30 minutes or 45 minutes looking at your CV and trying very hard to see, does Cynthia qualify? They want to make sure that your CV speaks to them such that at a glance I can be able to see that you qualify. Yeah. And the way to go about it, there are two ways to go about it. Ask a close friend. Give them your CV and ask them, what do you think of this CV? Is it a good representation of what I've done, my skill set? Yeah. Or come to people like us. We do offer a free CV review, and we can leave a link whereby they can be able to access more more information. And if you come interact with our team, they'll be able to tell you, okay, this is where you are doing, this is what you're doing well, this is where you can be able to improve. Yeah, so CV plays a very critical role. Yeah. My last piece of advice is, a mistake I see professionals making is the time they apply. Now things have changed. We are in the era of internet automation. So you will find, and this one I can speak authoritatively, you find if a position falls vacant today, we advertise tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow is a Monday. we don't, and the closing date is Friday. It doesn't mean we wait until Friday to start the shortlisting process.
Yeah.
Most likely, if we advertise on Monday, by Tuesday close of business, we've already started to look at who has applied. So imagine by Wednesday, Thursday, we've gotten your 15, 20 people that you want to interview. The reality is, I know this may not sound fair. The reality is, I don't have to wait until Friday to see that, to be able to review all the applicants. Especially if in a situation, before the deadline, I will have gotten the candidates I want to interview. Yeah, because nowadays people are pressured in terms of time. Yeah. So it is to your advantage or to your benefit if, whenever you see an opportunity, the earliest you see the opportunity, please apply. Yeah, because technology nowadays warrants that it has made it so easy for the HR and the recruiters, such that the time an application comes in, I'm sure you've heard of ATS. Yes. Someone is called and you're even ranked. So the HR will, at a click of a button, be able to see, oh, okay, I have my 15 or 20 candidates all ranking 80% and above. So let me close this. Yeah. So to make sure that you are not left, kutafuta kazi ni kazi. That's what we always say. So take time, visit the websites, get acquainted with what is the latest, and then when you're able to, when you see those vacancies, apply soonest. Yeah. So I believe if you're able to address and work on those 3 areas, you start seeing the success rate increase. Yeah.
And that's how you change your narrative.
Precisely. Yeah. So I would say in a nutshell, make sure you look at the position that you're applying.
Yeah.
Do you meet 70 to 80% of the requirement? Second, tweak your CV. Make sure it's professional. Seek expert services like ourselves, or even talk to friends, people who are older than you, and they'll be able to advise you. And lastly, make sure that your application is timely so that you don't miss out. Yeah.
Thank you so much for those tips, and thank you for watching. We hope to see you in the next video where we'll be discussing the top challenges you'll face when you're job hunting. Thank you.